What's been going on today? I guess I was just talking to Braylon Harmon, so it's summertime. You guys
Yeah.
got
Uh,
time to unwind.
Usually we'll work out some point throughout the day, and then we're on the lake when we can. But our jet skis, they're at the shop right now. So I've been going to hang out with my friends at their lake and their pool. But it's been rainy the past few days, so I kind of just been working around the house.
Yeah, yeah. It can drive you crazy too, sitting around the house on a hot summer day.
Oh yeah, no, it does for sure. It's hot, but it's still cloudy, so I'm trying to get my days going as much as I can with the sun out.
Yeah. Do you have a gym that you can go since you're a basketball player that you can go shoot around at?
We use Catholic a lot, which
Oh,
I'm
cool.
lucky to be able to do that for sure.
Excellent. So, Sydney Maines, thank you for joining me on the show. Talk about your state championship this past season with Catholic. Was that two in a row?
No, my freshman year we had gotten runner up, and then the last year, we had lost to Ensworth. Um, Not the best game. I mean, they were loaded at that point. Their starting five were all Division I basketball players, and we had lost to them in like the state championship, and then getting to play them again in the state championship and beat them for the gold ball was pretty cool.
Yeah. So last week I was at the mayor's night of champions, and were you at the event?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. So I was when you go in and around the corner, I was there interviewing a lot of the groups of players, and I had several of the Catholic basketball players came through, and I talked to them, and you should listen to it. It
Yeah.
was actually pretty funny. One of the girls started talking about
Oh yeah,
having a birthday party.
right. Yeah, that was so normal for her though. And, like that's something you would expect her to say, but I was sitting there and I was like, no way, she just said she had her seventh birthday party here. I was like, that is unreal.
Um, but this past year, so you did win the state. Talk about just what that season was like for you.
It was very up and down. It was for sure a roller coaster. In June, I had ACL surgery, and even before that, April, I had like blew out my whole knee, and then June, I ended up having surgery. So I was out and rehabbing until early that December, and so then around week of December was when I finally started getting slowly released. I played like 2 minutes in the next game. Like time, I would get like 2 minutes added. So finally, towards the end of December, beginning of January, I was like fully cleared, but I still wasn't myself. So that was very frustrating. Just having to play with knowing that my best friends were seniors on the team. So it's like I don't want to let them down, but there's still limitations to what I can do just mentally. Um, so that was very hard. But then come February, I was I was almost about 80% back to where I usually was. But then my teammates had also been playing without me for so long that they were able to carry what I wasn't able to do.
So you talk about your best friends being seniors, and you're a junior on the team, but still, it was clear that you were a leader on this team. How did you consciously sort of take that role, or did it just sort of happen with play on the court, or how does that work for you as not an underclassman, but not a senior?
Yeah. Uh, as a freshman, it was kind of that way. They're dependent a little bit on me to score. And then it just kind of, as I moved up, sophomore year, they depend on me a little bit more. And then junior year, I think was like the first time where it was like, hey, like we can do this, but we can't do it without you kind of thing. So I kind of just fell in my lap, I guess I would say.
You thrive in that sort of setting with that
Uh,
responsibility?
I think it's always kind of been like that with teams I've been on. Obviously, I've been surrounded by good people and good players throughout every team I've been on, but it's something that doesn't quite stress me out. It's just kind of like it is what it is, and I need to play the best that I can and do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, what about off the court? What do you do? Like, do you have any hobbies around Knoxville?
I go to the lake a lot. I'm an outdoors person, so anything outdoors, I'll go bike. Sometimes I'm starting to go to yoga, hot yoga, which I don't do like the workout ones; those kill me. But I'll do like the hot stretching ones that like I'm not completely dying in. So I'm finding some things to keep myself busy.
There you go. Now, what about like little Sydney when you were a little kid? Was it always basketball for you?
Um, I partly, but then so my dad has this thing called Next Level. He's moved it down here, but when I was little, we lived in Johnson City and he had it down there. So like every Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Thursday, he would have like a big group of kids come and they would all work out. So it's always been I'm in the gym. He was a coach too, so I'd be at the practices. So I've always been around it. But during the summers, it would be I was either traveling, playing like travel basketball, or I was at the lake with my mom because we used to have a camper and a boat. So we were either outdoors out there or we were in the gym. So
Yeah. Now, what about the recruiting process? Because you obviously got a lot of attention. And I love to hear those stories. Like sometimes you'll hear a fun story of like a cool on-site visit. Did you have anything like that?
um I went down to Buffalo this past September, which was pretty cool. I was able to see Niagara Falls, which not many people get to do, and it's like one of the wonders of the world. My dad and my mom were talking about. So that was really awesome to be able to get to see that, and just the way that I've been able to travel with basketball and see different things and meet different people that I wouldn't get to has been really cool. But a funny story I would say from all of it was when I was in like seventh grade. I had to send all these emails out to coaches, like, hi, I'm Sydney Mains and all this stuff. And I had like a grid, like a mapped out what I need to say, and I would just change like go and their mascot. And I sent one to Alabama and I said go elephants on it. And I was like, oh my God. My mom saw it after and she thinks it's the funniest thing to tell those people that story of where I was like, go elephants. Because I didn't remember, I thought they were just like, I knew they were roll tide, but I thought it was like, it's an elephant. So why not just say go elephants? And then I got made fun of for a while for that
Yeah.
one.
Sydney, do you ever listen to sports radio in Knoxville?
With my dad, I do. If we're in the car, he's playing it.
So I'm going to tell you a story about that's very similar to that about the afternoon guy on the sports animal. His name is
Mhm.
Tyler Ivans. So he used to for the Tennessee Smokies. He used to be the guy, in between innings with the mic that would just be like, let's see, can you guess how many jelly beans are in the jar or whatever the game might be.
Yeah.
So that was sort of his job in between innings to get the crowd hyped and play those games. Well, he applied for that job with the Atlanta Braves.
Hmm.
But Tyler is a really big Mets fan. And he has on his voicemail, the last thing he says is, let's go Mets. So the story is that he sent a video and all this, and the person from the Braves called him to set an interview.
Hmm.
And on it, they heard him say, let's go Mets. And as he tells the story, the person left a voicemail for him and said, we were calling to get an interview, but because of your voicemail, we're going to go ahead and say, I don't think it's the best idea.
That is so funny.
Yeah. So, but he's the kind of guy that'll be like, worth it. I'm never taking my Mets love down from anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome though.
so, and then how did you pick FAU?
I had went on a visit towards the end of the school year, and obviously I had plenty of choices and I loved all the coaches were amazing. So like the coaches were kind of hard to be like this staff is better than that one. So that didn't really help me. I just knew that I loved the FAU staff. Um and so then after going, it was just like I felt at peace there. I had a lot of people ask me after I like committed and it was out if I was like relieved. And I was like, I think the main thing was I was relieved while I was there. And that's how I kind of knew was like once I was there, I knew that's where I wanted to be. So like that relieved stress feeling was gone like when I was down there. And I think that's kind of how I knew that's where I wanted to be at.
Where in Florida is it?
Boca Raton. It's
Ooh.
very beautiful. Yeah. It's insane. Doesn't get much better location wise either.
That probably helped a little bit too, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Of course, we're still a little grumpy about FAU in Tennessee as they put us out of the tournament this year.
I know, I know.
But I mean, that was a heck of a team. They got
Mhm.
white hot there in the second half. But I'm wondering about like off the court training. So, have you ever been a part of anything like that? Working on speed, agility, quickness, that kind of stuff, just completely away from a basketball.
Um, a little bit. I got more into that as I got older, obviously, because I was playing against girls from around the world, and they were insanely fast and insanely athletic. And I'm a white girl from Tennessee, so it's kind of like I need to work on that a little bit if I'm going to be able to guard at that level that I need to. Um, so I had worked a little bit. We have a max at Catholic. So I've been working on that since about my freshman year. Our athletic like strength trainer, she worked for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and so she's been helping me a lot with like hip mobility and like that kind of stuff. But mainly it's just been my dad working me out my whole life. So that's really the only trainer I've ever went to.
Yeah, gotcha.
Mhm.
It's good he's got that experience. But yeah, all that kind of stuff is one of those things that, I wish growing up I would have known how important it was. Because now I do, and I think it could have really helped when I was younger. What about your overall like basketball goals? How high do you want to climb?
Uh, College is about the only level. Like, obviously, it'd be a blessing to have another opportunity to play higher than college, but I really want to be a college coach. So my biggest thing was when during my recruiting, I would tell my like the coaches I was talking to, and I would talk to them about GA positions for after I graduated, if that's an option and that kind of stuff. And so really just after my 4 years down there, I really just want to be able to get a GA position and start on that because I want to be able to impact people the way that they've impacted me in a way. So that's kind of just where I'm thinking right now, and then I'm excited to see
It's
what
great.
happens for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And you're going to get this opportunity, I guess, being a part of a program like that to get a real jump start. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Um, who would you say is your favorite basketball player ever?
I have to go with Kobe.
There you go. How about women's player? You there?
Gosh, sorry, you're cutting out. For some reason, the service is cutting
There you
in.
go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. So I
But
just
yeah, I'd
asked,
have to go with Kobe for sure.
what about women's?
Um, See, that's where like I enjoyed watching Sabrina however you say her last name, Badescu, something. I don't know how to say it, but I enjoyed watching her play when she was at Oregon. But I've really fallen off of watching women's. I like watching Haley Van Lith play too, just her mentality and how aggressive she is, and getting to watch Caitlin Clark play. The like just since she's been at Iowa has been insane watching her shoot from half court just like it's nothing. So
Have
I
you ever
wouldn't
played
say I have
against not
what'd you
have you ever
say?
played against Nia Burns from Gatlinburg?
I have, yes. I've
She
went
was
to
on the
like trainings been and it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. She was on the podcast not long ago and she was talking about just her how much she looks up to Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. See, with women's, I feel like there's just so many different players that it's hard to have a favorite for that. But there's so many players, especially in college, that I enjoy, or in the past and present that I've enjoyed watching.
Yeah. So one last question I ask everybody this is what is your favorite workout exercise, whether it be a basketball drill or something in a weight room?
Um, I'm gonna have to go with the 2 minute shooting drill that me and my dad do. It's like you make two in a row, you have 2 minutes to do it. You make two in a row, move to the next spot, and there's 5 spots. And then once you make two in a row at each spot, then you go to like anywhere you want, like in the 3 point line, and you see how many you can make with the remaining time. And so it's like cool to like compete against people because I'll work out against boys too. And so being able to be like, I beat you, is pretty cool. So
You compete against yourself and like past, I guess, records or, PRs.
yeah, it's against other people, against yourself. It's fun to be able to gauge how you did on that drill to like past and other people. So I enjoy that one.
Cool. Well, Sydney Maines, best of luck next season. Hope you have a great summer. And thank you so much for taking the time for this.
Thank you for having me.